Big thing here is nutrition. That's our big topic left. Big thing here is nutrition. That's our big topic left. And there is one part of safety, shelter, security, all that I missed intentionally, and we're going to come back to it at the very end. But nutrition. When I'm talking nutrition, I'm talking both your food and your liquid intake. I'm talking your total calories. And I've heard everyone say, oh, you need X many calories, you need this many servings, you need this, you need that. Well, how much do you think you need? You need to do some research before building your bag and decide what's best for you. What I ended up coming out to for a figure is roughly 3,000 calories a day. How I came to that number was I took my total calorie intake for an average week, and I tracked everything I ate, everything I drank, anything that had calories, I wrote down. This, again, is the OCD in me kicking in. Yeah, I'm nuts, but I want to be able to support my decisions. And I found, on average, I do between 18 and 2,500 calories a day, depending weekday versus weekend, if I'm working versus if I'm doing stuff around my home versus just kind of lazy, being lazy, laying about, doing whatever I want at home. So 2,500 was my high-end base guess. Beyond that, I figured if I need to use this bag, it means I'm walking somewhere. So I figured let's add some extra calories as a buffer for that. So what I ended up doing was I figured about 3,000 calories per day for me, total. And I know you guys are going to say that's light. But that's what I'm using as supplemental to what I can find on the range, on the trip. Okay. Let's start with, I'm a big one for repurposing and reusing containers and items. This was literally an old med box I turned into storage for rice. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bags. Each bag is about 2.5 calories, or 2.5 servings at 300 calories. So each bag of that is about 700 to 800 calories a day. Prepped, made. That's a pretty good chunk I'm missing. Freeze-dried meals. I've got a few different varieties. But I have at least one, if not two, for every 24-hour period I have set this bag set up for. Right now there are 4, 5, 6 different bags. Thank you, Ziploc baggies. So technically, I could have 2 of these per day at 470 calories each package. So figure 2 of these at 500 calories, 1,000 calories, plus your rice at, oh, I don't even remember what we said, but at 300 times 2.5, two and a half, 8, 3, 6, 750, 15. So figure 2 of these a day, or even 2 of these, excuse me, is 1,000 roughly. Plus 1 of those is another 750. So there's already 1,750 calories. That covers your starvation point. It ain't gonna leave you feeling good. Don't get me wrong. You're gonna feel like hell if that's all you're running on for about 3 days. But it's gonna give you the ability to survive. Like I said earlier, that's just the basics. That's just the bases. I'm fortunate enough to live in an area that produces a lot of foods. As you saw earlier, my backyard is a field. This year, I think he's doing corn this year. Which, field corn, yes, you can eat, but it ain't gonna feel good coming out. But then I've also got a garden. And I also know a lot of the wild fruits, the wild veggies that grow. For example, I went out between rain showers this afternoon and did a little asparagus hunting, just to see what was coming up. And my normal areas that I can get a lot have already been picked. So that's telling me, 1, the asparagus is already coming up. But 2, in this area at least, there's a lot of asparagus hunters. So that might be something I want to plan to not be relying on if I would ever need this kit. And that's the goal. Find out what works best, but you don't have to rely on. Use it as a lifeline if you need it. Okay. Cooking those. This is another one you saw earlier. I've got the fire starters. I'm looking for one. There it is. Specific piece. .95% of my stuff, I know I can cook over an open fire. Hunting, which I can do decently in certain seasons. Right now it's the off season for most everything and the numbers are down. But fishing, I know how to throw a fish on a couple of sticks and cook them over an open fire. That's not hard. But that's what this setup is used more as a supplement, as a base. So, my first goal, if I need it, is to start a fire in a fire using firewood. But I do have a backup. I just don't have the fuel tank here because they're both in my vehicle at the moment. But it's a single burner. Really simple. Okay. cooking options, cookware. You'll see a few different varieties, and this I do go back and forth on a lot and debate what I want. But what I use mainly is literally a $30 Amazon kit. That works just fine for me. And if I don't like this setup, I do have an old Boy Scout style tin. Literally hold over the fire with a leather glove. Beware of burnt arm hair. But that's my plan for cooking. Twigs, sticks. I can spear the animal carcass if I need to. That's the plan. Okay. That's food. That's that. Okay. Water resources. Water holding. Speaking of which, I know that's part of this bag, but we'll get to that. I go back and forth on this. I know people that swear by single-walled metal canisters. To me, I may not want to make noise if I'm having to walk. And the first time this hits something, thunk, yeah, you're going to hear it. This is actually a single wall one. Much smaller. 32 ounce, I think, versus 70. This one happens to be double wall. This one I use more when I'm out camping and I want to insulate something. Sometimes you can use this in cold weather. During, you fill it up with good hot water, throw it in the bottom of your sleeping bag, whatever. Helps keeps toesies warm. Coffee. Because if you're a caffeine needer like I am, full disclosure, I love my pop. You want your coffee in the morning. This will also let you cook little soups, little rice, right over an open fire.